Welcome to Dragon Ball Super Dope. My name is Kyle. Thank you for checking us out. I am joined today by my brother, Jimmy. Jimmy, what you doing, bud?
Chilling.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hanging out.
Any kind of things going on?
No.
Word. That's good, because you know what is going on outside of your general sphere of non-going onness. That's right. I just made that one work.
Right.
In case you haven't listened to the last couple of episodes, 2 weeks ago, I did a crossover episode with my buddy Jerry Nutini at the New Deal to let you know that I was pretty passionate about politics. Got some great feedback on that one, by the way. Thank you for those who listened. I appreciate you guys. And then last week, I released the episode on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So that way you'd have some shit in your ears to listen to if you were waiting in line at the polls. All right? So that's all a real long way to say. Got a new president-elect, y'all.
Yep.
Oh, my. And it is now, what, like 9:30-ish on Saturday? Jimmy and I just watched his acceptance speech, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah. His victory chant.
Pop, 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 chonk, chonk, chonk. It's just fucking car horns. Me. The fucking Hondas. Yeah, it was nice to watch a presidential speech that wasn't Donald Trump. And
it wasn't fucking crazy.
And it wasn't just somebody being like, this is so unfair about everything. Oh, my Lord. I don't think he says Lord, but you know what I'm saying. It was nice to watch a speech by somebody who you can tell has got like some general empathy for, I don't know, people.
Yeah.
At least the people around him, probably for the rest of us as Americans as well. Who knows? Only time will tell. For all you Trumpers who may be thinking that it's cool to come back to the listening population of Super Dope now that the election's over, welcome back. I missed you. Did you miss me and my liberal ranting? Was it enough to sway you in the election? Oh, it was enough to sway you away from listening to my podcast. Well, welcome back, Chud.
Nice.
All I want to say to you, bud, is if it was a rigged election, we would have thought to get Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham out.
Oh, yeah. Okay? For sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's no, like, seriously, not to get too political, this is going to be a short political thing in the front. We do have some Dragon Ball stuff to talk about, I swear to God. But all you people who spent the last year crazy about the Lincoln Project, I'm glad that you like the Lincoln Project ads. I love the Lincoln Project ads. They did a great job ripping them down. Want to know why? Republicans don't give a fuck. They'll go after somebody and rip them down in a public forum and do it in a highly, well-produced kind of way, whatever. I see why everybody was on board with the Lincoln Project's ads. The thing is, the Lincoln Project is actually just, they're still a Republican, entity, and they were still able to funnel a bunch of money that we as Democrats who like their ads contributed to them. They were still able to contribute that stuff to Senate races all over the country, and that's why we are... the Senate's still contested right now. We'll see what happens. We're probably going to have a runoff in Georgia in January. But I just think it's worth pointing out, like, be mindful of where your dollars go, folks. Okay?
Yeah.
Now that we're going to have a Democrat...
Being honest, I have no idea what any of the things you were talking about just now are.
I feel like most of our people don't, but that's okay. Listen, people, if you want the TLDR version, Lincoln Project... kind of okay to laugh at, not cool to give money to. If you did give money to them, you're the kind of fucking... You got a mark on your back for every other right-wing grifter out there, including all the dudes who are now contributing to Donald Trump's defense fund. Which, by the way, there is
get Johnny Cochran.
He's dead. The ghost of Johnny Cochran.
The ghost of Johnny Cochran.
He'd probably
do the chicken impression.
Okay. I don't know the chicken impression.
It's like a Family Guy bit where he goes in and he just makes chicken noises the whole time, and then they find the guy innocent.
Chewbacca does not live on Endor. You must have quit. All right,
Yeah,
that's
right.
my Johnny Cochran speech. Anyway, with the Trump Defense Legal Fund, just think it's worth pointing out there is a very evident disclaimer, I'm told, that up to 50% of your donation may go to paying outstanding debts of the campaign or something to that effect, basically. So, like, debts of the campaign, that's debts of Donald Trump. So, all right, I've ranted enough a little bit about that. All I will say is Joe wasn't my first, second, third, or even fourth pick for the Democratic primaries earlier this year. He was, I don't want to undercut the guy, okay? If you know that I'm a huge Parks and Rec fan, I just made Jimmy watch the clip where Leslie Knope meets Joe Biden to give us some hope after watching his acceptance speech. I like him as a person, as a politician.
Yeah, he's a decent guy. That's the whole
which is going to be such a welcome change of pace. Given the authoritarian little baby bitch dictator wannabe that we just had in the office for the last 4 fucking years, it's going to be such a welcome change of pace for somebody who's like, who actually has the ability within his body to act quote unquote presidential. That's going to be a nice change of pace. I'm not a huge fan of the dude's policies historically. Let's see what he does in terms of the transitional team and what his cabinet appointments are going to look like. So much of what's going to happen with his first 2 years of the presidency is going to be dependent on what happens with the Senate. So if you do have political funds to go donate, you're going to want to donate it to the Ossoff race, the runoff vote in Georgia. That's going to happen in January. So if you're somebody who donates to political races, that's where you want to go. So now that we've talked a little bit about politics and I've given you guys my feelings on Joe, today was the day where I finally, after a long time, just like had a sigh of relief and like felt it and was able to live in it for a moment. But you described it perfectly a little while ago.
Yeah.
This is my problem with this election at this point. How did you describe it?
It feels weird because it's like you're watching a horror movie and the monster just died, but there's still 20 minutes left before the movie's over.
The next 70 days are going to be the last 20 minutes of this horror movie. And even though the monster's dead, maybe he's not. Maybe he's going to try to bring shit to court and kick up a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
He very well could
hit the nuclear button.
He very well could barricade himself in office. I think it's as likely.
Wouldn't it be so funny if they had to publicly drag him out of the White House?
I'm kind of hoping for that.
That would be so funny.
But you know what I think is way more likely is that once everything's like official, and he put something out today about like 71 million legal votes, the most ever for a sitting president, which is great, except that it's up against Joe Biden's 74 million votes, right?
Right.
But he said that the election hasn't even been certified yet.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the media calling the winner.
Yeah.
So once it's certified, I wonder if he's just going to be like, well, fuck it. I'm out of here. I quit. You don't want me? I'm out. Bye. Yeah, you're firing me. I quit. That's the kind of dude he is. And then Mike Pence probably takes over as acting president in a lame duck session or during a lame duck session of the Senate and Congress. And what does he do? Just like spend the next 60 to 70 days like lobbying for Pence to pardon him for all of his crimes?
Yeah.
It's a very realistic possibility.
It's a thought. So anyway, I'm sitting in the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru. The guy behind me just starts cheering like crazy. Yeah, fuck yeah, all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? So I pulled my phone out and I'm like, oh, Joe Biden won the president. Like officially, I saw it in real time from the guy at Dunkin' Donuts in my rearview mirror, cheering and like, dude, he was passionate. He was real passionate. And that's how I found out that Joe Biden is the president.
Which Dunkin' Donuts were you at?
The one on Franklin Street.
It's a nice one, but the line's always too long.
It's true, yeah. I was fucking stuck out on Medicom trying to pull in there. But Sam only likes that shit, and she gets goat milk or oat milk or whatever the fuck it is.
It's oat milk.
It's terrible. There's no way to drink coffee.
Oat milk makes me poop more. I'm still looking at this camera like it's on. It's not. We're not recording a video anymore. If you do want to see some video of this, including a brief pre-show of this episode, Patreon.com/Dragon Ball Super Dope. You can also see the episode we did last week of me and my dad and my Uncle Julius and them talking about how they became little anime nerds and how they showed little baby me Dragon Ball for the first time. Allegedly, I don't fucking believe him. I actually got some tremendous feedback on that episode for everybody who reached out and let me know that it was cool to learn about some of like the history of anime or Japanimation. And it was cool to like have my dad make fun of me on the Patreon version's so fucking funny, dude. Like I uploaded it at like midnight the day after, like the day we recorded. We finished, I exported, I uploaded it to YouTube and put it on Patreon. And I was like, hey, here you go, guys. Here's a video. New episode's out tomorrow for the podcast feed. Within like 2 hours, somebody's like, yo, the first 15 minutes where your dad's making fun of you. That was so fucking funny. Bring him on the show all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the Patreon exclusive stuff. If you want to check it out, patreon.com/Dragon Ball Super Dope. And
I want to watch your dad make fun of you now.
I'll
Wish
put
I
it
had
up.
$5.
Thankfully, we're friends. I'll show you. All right, so we've got
it's
these.
time.
Yeah, that's right. If you
yeah, I
also
did it.
saw the first part of our pre-show video, you'll also know that around this
Happy birthday, Joe Biden.
this very cool GT Goku statue. Yeah, I just smacked it out of your mouth. You got to wait until
Damn,
I'm
I
done.
was so close.
We got to cheers. I just smacked a fucking nip out of Jimmy's mouth. I wish the camera was going. That was so
There's
good.
no camera?
No, the camera's done.
Nah.
No, the SD card's full. But what I will say is, happy birthday, Joe Biden.
Happy birthday, Joe Biden.
Woo!
Kobe.
Kobe. That's 2 for 2. All right. There is some actual Dragon Ball news to talk about. Kind of. Possibly.
For sure.
Allegedly. See,
Allegedly.
you just said for sure, and that goes against every other fucking adjective I just used. So,
I meant for sure figuratively.
as reported by my friend, Geekdom 101, there was recently a new Dragon Ball website registered by Shueisha. And by recently, I mean, it actually happened in like April or May, but I guess somebody just so happened to notice recently.
But it's not a real website.
It's not a real website in that it
There's
hasn't
nothing
been
on it.
Yeah, it hasn't been launched yet or anything, but the domain name has been launched. It's registered, I should say. It's dragon-ball-official.com.
Official.
So Danny did a good job in explaining what this could mean. I think the obvious implication that a lot of people want to take away from it is that Dragon Ball Super is coming back as an anime, and it's possible. However, it's probably way more likely, in my opinion, and I think even in his opinion, I don't think he highlighted the realistic nature of this part of it so much as he was like, it could mean the anime is coming back, because that's what gets clicks. But I think what this implies is they are going to kind of bring all of the Dragon Ball media under one general website umbrella. So like all the video game stuff, all the manga stuff, all the toy stuff. Like, I don't know, man. Most of the toy news I get in terms of new Dragon Ball figures comes through like Facebook groups and things like that. Like
Reddit.
Yeah, things like that too. Like I'm sure most of the news that I see comes from Reddit in the first place, but to bring all of those things under one general umbrella for an IP as large as Dragon Ball makes all the sense in the world. It's not necessarily indicative of a anime coming back. That said, I'm sure it's only a matter of time. So, yeah, that's the Danny Geekdom news that y'all are gonna be fucking saying's official and stuff. Yep. Anyway, that's
Super Saiyan official.
Super Saiyan. I'm just saying
I'm not just saying.
I'm saying
Super Saiyan.
that it's Super Saiyan official. This is the worst. I don't think we should do this anymore. All right, so that's the second segment. The second segment was so much quicker than the first segment. Want to know why? Not much to consider in that second segment. It's a fucking website registration.
Yeah, exactly.
Glad somebody
Like,
squeaked
it's
a
not a
15-minute
website,
live stream out of
but
it.
like,
Hey, that's segment 2. No, that's the math on
what?
this
I
one
get
today.
to do more Nips?
Yeah, so there's 3 segments for the show, right? Right?
Yeah.
This next upcoming segment's about Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I told you it's about Dragon
What
Ball.
was the first one about?
Election.
Election?
Election, not erection. And then we just did the website thing about how it could be news for Dragon Ball, but
Now we
it's
do
probably not.
shots.
And now we do shots to cap this one. Bamo kablamo. Want to know what it's time for now?
Bing.
Oh,
Off
Super
the
Dragon
ringer.
Ball Hero.
Hero.
So, what do you think about Super Dragon Ball Hero, Jimmy? You like this series?
So, we'll get right off.
Well, no. I didn't give you the setup
Come
yet. I was
on.
trying to set
Give
you
it
up.
to me.
How do you feel about the series?
Well, I haven't watched it in a while.
Yes.
So, there's that. But it doesn't matter. Because
Same.
nobody knows what's happening in this show anyway.
It's true.
One day you're in fucking this universe and that universe, blah, 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 blah.
Universe
Doesn't
6.
matter. You want to know what happens in this episode? I'll fucking tell you.
So
right off the rip.
we're gonna look at episode 28 for Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I
That's
think
the
the
one.
last one that we reviewed, I want to say was
What's the name?
episode 24. So we are skipping very far ahead. The way that we're making this a little bit different today is I didn't take a bunch of stupid notes on a stupid 8-minute anime episode of Dragon Ball today, because I always overdo it and it's not very easy to navigate and it's kind of pointless because who gives a shit. So what I did instead was I made Jimmy do it. And what I didn't realize when I asked Jimmy to do this was Jimmy kind of comes with a seasoned Dragon Ball narrator voice. So I asked Jimmy to borrow one of these legal pads, write down his brief synopsis of episode 28 of Super Dragon Ball Hero. Episode 28, Fight in the Time Column. Vegito versus Superfu. Jimmy, give me the recap.
All right. So cut to Goku and Vegeta tied up by dark matter or souls or whatever. Goku and Vegeta break free. But first, Mitch Cabra was born, or he was cut in half and stored in their dark energy, and also he is Cell.
All right, so back up. There's like some deep aura that's got like them all wrapped up in some vines, power vines.
Yeah, they're sucking out their dark energy so they can bring back Mitch Cabra.
It's very sexual.
Yeah.
The
For
color
sure.
tones, the BDSM restraint type stuff. I feel very uncomfortable while also trying to fight a boner. But what's his name? Mechi Cabra?
I don't know what his real name is. I just call him Mitch Cabra because that's what it sounds like.
So, like, when we were reading the subtitles today, I'm like, oh, yeah, that looks kind of familiar. I'm pretty sure I made fun of that name one time, like 8 months ago. I don't remember, though. I don't remember what because the sub that we watched today, usually when we watch subs, they're done by Therese for Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Therese from Kanzenshu, but I didn't see Therese upload a copy. We watched it from, what was it called? Like something interestings or whatever, and the subs weren't very good. So the name was definitely misspelled, but it was like Mechi Kabura.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mitch Cabra.
Mechi Kabura. They reference him a few times, but Super Saiyan 4 Goku, so this is Xeno Goku.
Yeah.
He's the sexiest one.
Yes, for sure.
Because
the hair.
and the muscles.
Yeah, the hair.
And
I'm with the hair.
the fur chest.
Yes, the fur chest.
The fur chest.
He's got that Austin Powers vibe, bro.
He kind of does, except reverse Austin Powers, because Austin Powers didn't have it all up on his ribs and stomach and stuff. It was just on his chest, and Goku's chest in Super Saiyan 4 is very bare.
Mm-hmm.
Got that reverse Austin Powers. Boom.
That's what we're looking for.
Word bird. All right, so he breaks out of his sexual BDSM.
Goku
power
breaks
vines.
out of his dark matter soul stealing thing. And then, they disappear in the time column. Meanwhile, Vegito fights Fu. Fu attacks, multiplication attack. Vegito blocks, math is lame. Then the universe seed does a thing, and then it's no more. The super dragon. Wish granted. End episode.
I feel like Strong Bad just narrated the fucking last part of that goddamn episode. So we cut back over to another fight. It's Super Saiyan Blue Vegito versus Super Fu. It's very intense. Super Fu powers up and looks like a Super Saiyan Super Fu.
Yep.
Ooh.
Super Saiyan,
Super
Fu.
Saiyan Super Fu. Ooh.
He's
Super
got that
Saiyan
Gohan
Super
vibe,
Fu.
though,
Ooh.
right? Rocking those
Super Saiyan
fucking
Super
reading
Fu.
glasses.
Reading glasses, super king cool. Super Saiyan, Super. All right, I'm good. Sorry that you guys just had to sit through that. So
But he shoots like a multiplication. Ha!
I think he takes out his sword and slashes out
Yeah,
an
he
X in
uses
the air,
the dark saber,
and then it looks like the
and
dark
it
saber.
sends a multiplication
Oh, we
symbol.
doing a Mandalorian segment at the end?
Oh my god, we should.
Oh, I
That
think
shit was
we are.
so good.
Oh, all right. So
Ah.
Mandalorian episode season 2 spoiler review at the end
only
of this
the first
podcast.
episode. I only seen the first
Oh, you
episode.
ever watch the second one?
What? There's a second one?
Oh, we're watching it when this is done.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's scary.
Really?
Actually, I heard that the second episode for The Mandalorian this season, I heard a lot of hardcore Star Wars people had a huge problem with it. I love Star Wars, but I'm not like as into it as I could be for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But I thought it was good. I liked it a lot, actually. So we're not going to talk Mandalorian then. We can't talk Mandalorian without Dan. If we talk Mandalorian without Minivan Dan, I'll feel like such a fucking dickhead. Maybe Dan can come by next weekend or something. We have a few different shows on the docket. The people who are waiting for that WMAC thing that I've been teasing.
Dude, that shit is so crazy. Because, like, you sent me a thing and you were like, WMAC, and I was sitting there and I was like all drunk. It was right after work, and I was like, what is this, Mike? And he was like, I have no idea what this is. So I made us watch it for like 2 hours. like it just keeps getting crazier.
You guys
Like, what
watched
is going
WMAC
on?
Masters for 2 hours the other day? All right, we have a lot to talk about.
It was very drunk.
The
It
WMAC
just seems like a knockoff of Mortal Kombat, but like also
We've got
hilarious.
so much to talk about.
Like
yes.
Mortal Kombat versus like like what's that show? Temple of Doom or something?
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, that's the one.
Word.
That's the guy
So
I'm talking
a
about.
lot of the people who worked on WMAC Masters actually worked in the first 2 Mortal Kombat games. So I think it's Hung So Pak Superstar. He is the guy who was in the mocap suits for the first 2 Mortal Kombat games to be Liu Kang.
Yeah.
And his outfit on that show is literally the fucking alternate outfit for Liu Kang with the black pants and the orange stripes from MK2.
Nice.
Chris Kazamaza, I think his name's Red Dragon in WMAC. He's the guy who was Scorpion in the first 2 games. Like, and then there's a million stories just like that. Like, they worked on certain TV shows, whether it be from Power Rangers, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sophia Crawford's involved in the 2nd season. Anyway, if I've teased the WMAC Masters episode to you guys, I can't tell you why, but it's getting postponed until January.
Yeah.
At least January.
What about martial arts soccer?
Kung Fu Hustle, Kung Fu Soccer. What's it called?
I don't know,
Shaolin
dude.
Soccer.
It was hilarious when I
Oh
watched that
no,
little video.
I'm talking about a Steven Cho movie. Steven Cho?
Didn't I send you a video?
No,
the
you
other-
did. Yeah, Jimmy sent me a Reddit video of some Kung Fu Soccer the other day, and it was actually really impressive. All right, so that was all a long way to say Super Dragon Ball Heroes is not a very good show, and we just entertained you for the last 10 minutes despite it being such a shallow piece of garbage. Oh, that's right,
You
though.
know what? Like, if somebody queued up all the episodes and made them into like a cinematic movie where I could sit there for like 8 minutes and watch all of it together, because
8
what are
minutes?
they, 1 minute episodes?
8-minute episodes.
Oh,
So there
yeah,
are
whatever.
people who like take all, I think it's 27, 28 episodes, 28 episodes, and they like put them front to back on YouTube so you can watch them in
That's
succession
what
like that.
we need.
They
See,
have them.
people think of everything.
But this is a story that would benefit from a long, like if there was a 2-hour Super Dragon Ball Heroes movie, it could be something cool. But trying to tell the story in increments of 8 minutes,
That's what it really is, bro. Like,
no es bueno.
yeah.
So, Super Dragon Ball Heroes is kind of what's the word?
Well, I really liked Super Dragon Ball Heroes when I first saw it
Because of the
it's
music.
Yeah. the music is new. It was fucking Dragon Ball. It was crazy shit. Like, it was like watching someone play a video game where like Super Saiyan 4 Goku fights like fucking Krillin when he was with Master Roshi or some shit. You know, like it was awesome. And then like
Very true.
they just like got too.
Well,
They got too like I don't know. I don't want to say story orientated, but like they're
so,
like, oh, my dark soul web is capturing your Pokemon.
That's
and
kind of been my problem with it, is that like they bring in those Toki bird fucking elements, the Pokemon shit. They've also just gone to great lengths to try to introduce new characters out of nowhere,
Yeah.
while also continuously recycling old characters, which is fine if you're bringing back old characters. It's fine if you're giving me new characters.
Yeah, it's probably even fine if you have more than 8 minutes.
But exactly. But like, if you want to do one or the other, pick so that we can do one of those two things well. Like,
Yeah.
I would like to know, like, the aura that they're caught up in at the beginning of the episode. It's like Kumba's aura.
Yeah,
or whatever, his
Cucumber's
angry
aura.
Cucumber, his angry hatred, his red Saiyan rage or whatever. And that's fine. But like, I also need to know who the fuck Mechikabra is, and Fu, and Toa and Mira.
Well, she made Fu.
She did with
But-
sex. Very nice.
I don't know if it was with sex, but
Have
she
you guys
made him.
watched Borat 2 yet? You should if you haven't. If you haven't, go watch it on Amazon Prime. You probably have an Amazon Prime account. You fuck. And go watch it because it is so goddamn good. My wife.
My wife.
All right, so Super Dragon Ball Heroes is pretty terrible. We're almost at the end of the episode. Here's the thing, though.
Do we do shots?
Before we wrap up and do our last shots, okay?
Okay.
So much of what we've done. All right, so this is going to be a little bit of a weird tangent. Ready? I realized I started podcasting in 2017. I started thinking and wanting to do podcasting in like 2015, 2016. Now I'm in 2020 and I make podcasts a lot. Like, that's, some people would say I do that professionally, which is cool. But my point in bringing all of this up is a lot of my favorite political podcasts have been forged to like repel the nonsense and the fascism that has been the Trump bullshit over the last 4 years, you know? And it didn't really dawn on me until I started thinking about these election results and how we're about to have a change, and like how some of my favorite content creators are about to shift the kind of stuff that they do, because it's not going to be about hating Trump anymore. It's going to be about either supporting Biden or, you know, ideally it would be about holding him accountable so we can work to be a more progressive nation. But what I thought about was, we started our podcast in the Donald Trump fucking era. I think maybe a part of me was,
So maybe we should just be nicer to people.
you want me to be nice
By
to
the
you?
way, no, like in going forward, we gotta fucking pull a Biden. We just gotta be nicer to people. So leave us a voicemail, and we probably won't even make fun of you
401-213-9596.
because we like the voicemails.
We do like the voicemails. It's a little disappointing that nobody's
Scream
leaving
about Dragon
voicemails
Ball,
lately.
be like Kamehameha or some shit.
Like, we have a limited audience for sure, but you guys know who you are. All right. If you
Yeah.
listen to the show every week and you haven't even attempted to leave a voicemail at 401-213-9596, you're kind of a dickhead. All right. End of story. And that's about as much as I'm willing to make fun of
And
you.
Tom Arnold supports that statement.
Tom Arnold. Oh my God, it's the real life shitmobile. Leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear from you guys. But my point in bringing all of this up is, so much of the content creators that I enjoy, who have been like very anti-Trump and like making sure that he does not win a second term, the tone of their content, I imagine, is about to shift. I don't feel like we are going to risk anything like that in terms of a tonal shift, because it's not a very political show usually. I know that it has been lately, but it's not usually. With that said, if you are one of those Trump voters who's feeling, you know, butthurt and you've gotten to this point, I don't want to rub things in your face, dude. It hurts to lose, but understand that this guy was, with another 4 years, this guy very well could have brought down the end of America. And that's not hyperbole. That's not exaggeration. This guy stands to make a lot of money off of the Russians and the Chinese. I'd like to
insert Obi-Wan Kenobi quote here.
There'll never be a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Yeah, good call. My point is,
democracy.
Trump voters, if you are still listening, welcome back. I hope that we can, make amends and make it nice and have you back on the logical side of thought. Either way, I don't even really know what just led me down this road. I'm just kind of concerned that some people are going to take cues from a flailing president who is desperate to keep his office because he knows on the other side of this office he's either going to have to face potential jail time. That's very unlikely, but it's possible. Or a tremendous amount of payback on debts that he owes, and he does not have the money. I'm not looking forward to the next 4 years in which Homeboy is going to threaten to run again in 2024. I'm sure that on January 20th or January 21st, the day after the inauguration, I'm almost positive. I'm almost gonna bet fucking money on it that he's gonna announce his re-election campaign for 2024, and I'm gonna have to spend the next 4 fucking years dealing with you Trumpers anyway.
I like to call them trumpets.
Yeah, they don't like that because it's feminine.
Is it?
Trumpets. You can't say trumpets like the horn. It's got to be trumpets.
Yeah.
And then they're like, that means a lady. I don't like it.
Well, it makes me smile.
Either way, I hope if you're a Trump supporter hearing this that you're coming back to.
I just hope politics keep doing their thing. I miss when I didn't have to care. Like all these other presidents, I was like, whatever, they're doing their thing. And then it was like Trump, and I was like, oh no, that's not good.
Oh, no, that's not the thing. Well, almost in the same fashion of what I was talking about. So like so many of these media institutions that I dig from, podcasting and YouTubing channels, Perspective Push, whatever. So many of these different platforms from YouTube or podcasts or whatever perspective were born out of the need to fight against him. All right.
Which there was.
And it worked, apparently. I'm curious to see how those guys reshift their focus and hopefully work towards a more progressive future to keep people like Biden accountable, even though he's, more of like a moderate's idea for president. And I get that. And that's probably what was needed for this presidency, this election. The idea of keeping him accountable through these types of media forums that we've, used to kick back against Trump, I would love to see that happen. I hope it does. Let's not get complacent now that we've got a good person in office.
They're gonna lose their fact checker jobs. I feel for you.
Yeah, I feel for you too, you fact checking fucks. All right.
They were so good at it. Anytime Trump spoke, they were like, well, actually, that's not true. What are they going to do now?
Trump whines and complains. No basis at all.
Have to work in high schools fact checking like little fucking kids and shit.
Probably.
Yeah, actually, that's not true.
Well, this has been a pretty meandering podcast. If you did watch the first 15 minutes of the pre-show on the Patreon, good for you.
The video is better. Now let's do shots.
Nope, you can't put the...
What?
Put it down! I'm trying to make a point. All right? It's for the patrons, okay?
Yeah.
Listen to me. Don't try to take this. You know what? This shot's now in my hands. I'll give it to you when you're ready. Listen.
This is for patrons?
This is for everyone, but it's mostly for the patrons. Listen.
Okay.
We started in the midst of a Donald Trump presidency. In the last few days, I've been thinking... He's trying to make background music. Your background music sucks dick.
It was gonna get better. You just stopped talking.
Because your background music sucked dick.
It was supposed to come in slow, and then like as you started saying things, it got louder.
Of all the people I know on planet Earth, you've got like arguably the least rhythm. Why do you feel like you can underscore my fucking poetic outgoing speech for this election night, eh?
Let's go. Bring in the speech. I'll come in with the beatbox in the middle. Don't worry.
So what I've been thinking about is maybe this podcast that we made was a stress reaction to me not being able to deal with a fucking normal person in the fucking Oval Office. I never thought about that until today, but I just thought it was worth considering when I think about all of the media outlets, podcasts, YouTube channels that have emerged as a way to fight back against Trump. That said, it's what? 3 years now, over 3 years. August 17th, 2017 was our first episode of Super Dope. And if you're still listening now, you are the exception to the rule. But there are people who have supported us from a financial perspective over the last few years. And real quick, I just want to give some special thanks to our patrons. The newest of which, I think he might be a re-sign up. I'm not really sure. But my good friend, Marcus motherfucking Woods. Chonk, 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 chonk. See, you're doing the air horn thing, but I'm doing the car horns at a Biden speech thing.
Oh, they were
Chonk,
more
chonk.
like meep, 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 meep.
Meep,
They're all
chonk.
driving like sensible cars, like Toyota Corollas and fucking Yaris.
How
and,
dare
like,
you be mindful of the environment, you liberal hacks. Chonk, chonk. So, Marcus, thanks for getting back on that $5 tier, man. We
Right.
appreciate you. You're going to be able to see this long,
Killed it, bro.
intro episode of me wanting to punch Jimmy in the goddamn face. But also to our other Patreons, David
You're making
Cheers.
mine warm. Let me put it near me.
This
What's
kid's
his
just trying
name? David Cheers.
to. No, listen.
Cheers to him.
We're gonna have.
Can we?
We're gonna after we read all the names. Jimmy's gonna read your names now. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, I can't read. Marcus Woods, David Cheers, Kelly, Jacob Perez, oh, Dan Minivan Dan, John Claude Minivan Dan, Reese, my boy. I don't
What's
know
his
your
last
last
name?
name. I don't know.
Andriotis.
Andriotis, Timothy Jones,
The legend grows. Timmy Jones.
Timmy Jones. Oh my God, Glenn McJefferson.
Brian Melchiori.
That's your fault. That's your fault.
That name is very clearly Brian.
And what's this one? Dan LBJ Riviera.
It's Rivera, but yeah,
Motherfucker.
Dan Little Baby Jiren Rivera,
Little baby Jiren. Oh, I know this guy.
the first executive
comes down
producer
and
for Super
fucking-
Dope. He's been in this room. He's done an episode with me. Link in the
Really?
show. Oh yeah, dude. Link in the show notes, baby. Go check it
Oh,
out. You know,
shit.
dude. He sat right the fuck there. He
Right
came,
here?
Yeah, he might have sat in
God.
this chair, dude. We had the
No
best
way.
time.
There's a 1 in 4 chance he sat in this chair.
Hey, I got 4 of these chairs. Okay, yeah. All right, good math. I'm glad you learned enough math on your way out of dropping out of high school.
Multiplication attack.
All right, patrons, this one's for you. This 2016, 2020
Yeah.
fucking 4-year span has been awful. This one's to David Cheers.
Yeah, when you listen to this, Reese, do a shoey.
Do a shoey, mate. Oi, I'm from Australia, mate. Oh, dude, I did pretty good. I got 5 out of 6 in the fucking trash barrel. All right. So, Joe Biden's the president. Super Dragon Ball Hero still sucks dick. Dragon Ball Super's not coming back yet, no matter what some dude on YouTube is trying to get you to click on his videos might or may not possibly confirm for you. And if you want to see a video version of us being mean to each other for the first 10 minutes of the show, patreon.com/Dragon Ball Superdope. That's the end of the show. What's the thing? It's yo, you did a good job reading, dude. You want to do your Dragon Ball voice one more time? Go ahead.
What is it?
You'd be like, Next time on Dragon Ball Super Dope or something like that.
Next time on Dragon Ball Super Dope, Kyle will talk about stuff, and then it will be other stuff, and also Reese drink beer out of a shoe. Dunna, dunna, dunna.
Reese go and drink beer out of a shoe.